Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its mission? To explore strange new worlds, to discover new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Human world.
Though the Enterprise's primary mission is peaceful exploration, the galaxy holds many surprises. To be prepared, we are conducting a mock battle with the USS Republic.
Captain Patterson reports the Republic is in position and ready to begin, Captain.
The Republic is arming weapons and raising shields. I suggest we do the same, Captain.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Aye, sir. Shields repaired, Captain.
Computer estimates the Republic is crippled, Captain.
Captain Patterson extends his congratulations, sir.
Lowering shields and disarming weapons.
Message coming in from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Jim, the Enterprise is ordered to travel to Pollux 5. The natives report that alien life forms have been attacking the settlers near a mine at Mount Idle. You are to report to the High Prelate of the colony. The settlers are members of the Acolytes of the Stars sect. The description of the attackers vary, but all say that the attackers resemble creatures from many Earth religions known as demons. Starfleet wants you to determine the nature of these creatures and to resolve the situation without bringing harm to the colonists. Starfleet out.
We have arrived at Pollux 5.
Entering standard orbit.
Pollux 5 has recently emerged from an ice age, sir. It's spring at the moment, cool but tolerable. Sensors indicate previously documented flora and fauna. Nothing unusual.
Pollux 5 system. An inhabited satellite of Pollux B. Pollux 5 has lately emerged from an ice age caused by large meteor strikes. It has recently been colonized by the Acolytes of the Stars religious sect. The planet is home to a wide variety of plant life, but insects and other lower life forms are the only known animals. Acolytes. fully acolytes of the stars. Inspired by old human religions, the acolytes of the stars are a group of deists that have colonized several worlds in this quadrant. The acolytes prefer a relatively primitive lifestyle, reminiscent of the mid-21st century Earth rural communities. Acolyte missionaries regularly assist nearby Federation worlds during times of need or disaster. Major acolyte settlements are Nicolasi on Pollux 5, Germania on Maddox 2, and Kentigern on Haven's World. Prelate, a title of religious leadership, most commonly used by the governors of the Acolytes of the Stars. Robert Engevin, fully High Prelate Robert Everett Engevin. As High Prelate of the Acolytes of the Stars, see Acolytes. On Nicolasi, Robert Engevin serves as political and spiritual leader for that religious colony. Engevin is the acting Federation contact on that world, and is considered by Federation diplomats to be a fair and capable leader.
Message from High Prelate Robert Angevin, sir.
Welcome, Enterprise. The High Prelate awaits you. Please, beam down and meet with him.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the car.
This is so much better, gentlefolk. We are honored at your presence, and hope you will find peace here in our haven.
Captain, the flora on this planet is very interesting. I wonder how useful it may be for medicinal purposes.
High Prelate Angevin waits patiently for you to decide what you will do next.
I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. We have received word that alien life forms are creating problems at your mining facilities at Idle Mountain. Tell me more.
Certainly, Captain Kirk. Not aliens per se. We have encountered what we believe are demons at Idle Mountain. Creatures surely emerging from the very gates of hell. Our God would not test us thus without reason. So we believe your might and insight are our God's method to help us discover what is going on.
Aside from seeing demons, has any hard data been collected? Any evidence I could see?
A skeptic would consider everything merely anecdotal or unproven. My people will gladly tell you their own stories, so you need not hear it secondhand through me.
What can you tell me about the mine itself?
The area is exceptionally stable tectonically, and easy for our machinery to work in, praise God. We've mined for hafnium and a variety of useful trace elements. The deeper we dig, however, the more anomalous the variety of minerals seems to be. Our Ignatiate brother Stephen has his own theories about why this might be. Either way, the anomalies inspired Brother Canry to conduct studies inside the mine. Yesterday, he reported discovering a strange door. A gate to hell, surely, for the demons caused a cave-in immediately. Canry was trapped, unconscious, and the demons prevent us from rescuing him. We can only hope he is still alive. Thank you for your courtesy, Kirk. May you receive the guidance and protection of our God as you complete this divine mission.
Captain, demons and supernatural creatures are, almost by definition, illogical. Yet it is evident these people believe what they have seen. Barring illness or mass hysteria, I agree that a real problem seems to exist.
You look rather cold, Bones.
I'm not cold. I'm freezing. And that damn transporter just had to set me down in the middle of a snowdrift.
A centimeter of snow does not technically constitute a drift, Doctor.
And doctors say that patients complain too much. I've never seen snow like this before. This is great.
You mean you've never built a snowman, Ensign?
I've never even thrown a snowball. Do you think anyone would mind?
Well...
Later, Ensign, we have work to do.
Of course, sir.
A sturdy man of advanced years whose blue eyes meet yours with clarity, curiosity, and directness.
I am worried about Brother Chubb. Can you examine him, Doctor?
Jim, this man has suffered severe physical injuries to his head and arm. The wounds have been adequately cared for. However, he has developed a Nugarian infection. If not treated swiftly, the effects can be fatal. The infection can normally be treated with hypoditoxin, but there's none on the Enterprise.
I may be of some assistance. The Lorexian berry grows near the mouth of the cave. If I could acquire it, I would be able to synthesize the hypoditoxin from the berry. Unfortunately, the demons prevent us from approaching the cave entrance. Perhaps you could retrieve it for me.
The medical methods of these people seem primitive to me, Doctor.
By our standards, yes. Here the Acolytes prefer a simpler lifestyle. Unfortunately, this is one of the consequences.
My Uncle John lived with the Acolytes a long time ago. He died in their service helping plague victims on New Ontario 6 20 years ago.
The Acolytes did a lot of good work for the needy in this quadrant.
It will be good to help them for a change.
Boxes of supplies and mining equipment litter the floor. You see a small explosion, and the Klingon's hand falls to the ground with a dull thud.
I guess they don't make Klingons like they used to, sir.
We were caught flat-footed there. I don't want any more surprises to catch us off guard.
Captain, we registered phaser fire and an unknown energy beam. Is everyone okay?
We're fine. Did you register any disruptor fire?
No, Captain. Why? Are there Klingons down there?
No, just an idea, Kirkout.
Fascinating. I begin to suspect that we have stumbled upon something that the colonists would never have uncovered.
What is it, Spock?
I wish to gather further data before making a definite conclusion, Captain. This is not a Klingon, Captain. Not a real one. It is an organic construct, an android-like robot. It looks like a Klingon, but the appearance is entirely superficial. There is something different about this particular construct. Come here, Captain. Look at the hand. It seems to have been separated from the body. There's a wiring circuit in the middle of the palm. This is a detached hand with some kind of circuitry in the palm, Captain.
You take the Klingon's detached hand.
Captain, I detect a recent avalanche approximately 6.2 kilometers away that occurred within the last 3 days. The mountain may be quite dangerous.
Demons, Klingons, avalanches. What's next? The Wicked Witch of the West?
That is not logical, Doctor.
It wasn't supposed to be logical, you green-blooded Vulcan. Why does everything have to be so damn logical? Well, we've seen Klingons. Now all we need is a few Romulans.
Control your thoughts, Doctor. There is a high probability that something here is using our own memories against us.
You get no response.
I guess this isn't such a great planet after all.
Jim, these are the berries we need to synthesize the hypoditoxin. We must get these to Brother Stephen quickly.
You have retrieved a sample of berries.
The settings on the RDAC-4 have already been adjusted. Simply place the berry in the machine and the hypoditoxin will be synthesized.
An antiquated molecular synthesizer sits in the corner.
Fascinating, Captain. It is an RDAC-4 molecular synthesizer, a museum piece in perfect working order.
The machine synthesizes a quantity of hypoditoxin.
We've got to get this to Brother Chubb as quickly as possible, Jim.
Thank you. You're most kind. I headed up the party that sought to rescue Brother Kandri. Without warning, the demons appeared and attacked us as we approached the mine.
Can you tell us what they look like?
Like the demons that have plagued devout folk since before our people left the earth. Huge, muscular demons with ruddy skin, truly the manifestation of evil, with bat wings, horns and talons and a pointed tail. God preserve us all. One tore open my arm and I surely would have perished, but for my companions who bore me back down the mountain.
The demons didn't follow you?
No.
Brother Kandre is my partner. I was on the communications link when the demons caused the rockfall and silenced him. He said he'd found a strange door with devilish writing. Truly, he came upon the gate of hell itself.
I am Brother Griznash. I went up the mountainside in solitary prayer, seeking to face my fears. Indeed, I found them. A bellowing Krognik demon with sharp teeth and a long snout descended upon me in a rush of wind.
Captain, a Krognik demon has a decidedly wolfish appearance. Brother Griznash, is this not the traditional shape of the Evil One and his minions among Tellarites?
It is.
I believe this may be significant, Captain.
I am Brother Stephen, an Ignatiate following the holy teachings with mind and soul alike. I believe the anomalous mineral readings in combination with evidence of ancient disturbances in this otherwise highly stable geologic location indicates previous habitation of the region eons ago.
Why, Spock, you two should get along fine. He sounds just like you.
I would be equally honored to discuss medicine with you, Doctor, as science with your Vulcan associate. Let me continue. I believe our God made humans, aliens, and demons all. If I could get a real demon into my study, I would bless our God for the opportunity, as I thank him for everything in this life.
You tread close to unholy knowledge, Brother Stephen.
I appreciate your prayers, Brother Roberts. Captain, if you and your people go up the mountain, I hope afterward you will visit me in my study, which is next door. I'm too old to make the trek myself, but I'm eager for knowledge. In return, I will offer you what insights our God grants these old eyes. What a fascinating piece of equipment. Highly advanced technology. You see here, it seems to have been damaged, however. Take it to my workbench and let's see if it can be repaired. I fear my hands are too shaky to perform such fine work, but perhaps one of you can do it.
A multi-purpose workspace with fine, well-worn tools and equipment close at hand.
Mr. Spock, see what you can do about that hand.
This machinery is delicate, but I have managed to repair the circuitry.
A glass-fronted display of mineral specimens, including a meteorite, a few fossil shells, the skull of a cat-sized alien animal, and a very encrusted twist of metal.
You are interested in my little museum of curiosities?
Looks like a pile of junk. Yes, tell us about these things.
I enjoy talking about these treasures. Shall I go into mineral specimens? True curiosities, nothing more. I think they're very pretty, don't you? Shall I go into minerals meteorite? I believe this is evidence of the cataclysm which destroyed the moon of Pollux 5 eons past. I've constructed a theoretical model based on analysis of the planet's rings of what things might have been like. I think that the moon, like Earth's moon, would have made a total eclipse of the sun possible. I would have liked to have seen that, for conditions making a perfect total eclipse are rare in the universe. Our God creates great wonders. Shall I go into mineral fossil shells? One of the oldest forms I've seen on this planet. Our God makes beautiful things indeed. Shall I go into minerals fossil skull of a small alien animal? The skull of a modern Scythe, the largest creature native to this planet, about the size of a house cat from Earth. The Scythes combine a rather insectoid pattern with four-legged reptilian form, including praying mantis-like forelimbs. Shall I go into minerals fossil skull twist of metal? This chunk of rock is a greatly weathered example of a vanadium tungsten alloy, which doesn't occur naturally. It is my best evidence that the area was previously inhabited. Shall I go into minerals skull twist, or would you rather move on to something else? Very well. I can't imagine why, but if you have a further interest in any of this, take what you like. But please remember to return my treasures when you're done with them.
An old-fashioned computer. It appears to have some type of simulation running.
A vintage 8012-86 of the mid-21st century. It is a fine museum piece.
Mr. Spock, see what you can dig up from that old-fashioned computer terminal.
Captain, this appears to be a model of the Earth. Notice how it models the proper situation for a total eclipse.
Assume firing positions.
This man is badly hurt and suffering from shock and exposure as well. It was a near thing, but he'll live.
Oh, thank you, kind souls, for saving my life. Let me rest here for a little before returning to report this miracle to Prelate Angiven.
Fascinating, Captain. This door is made of an unknown material. It is clearly built by an alien race we have no knowledge of. It appears to be a security lock designed to open the door when the correct handprint is registered.
The hand circuitry triggers a connection and the door opens.
I recommend as thorough an analysis of this area as possible.
It appears to be an abstract piece of alien art.
Fascinating, Captain. It is a diagram of a lunar eclipse of this planet. See how the red sphere, the moon, is casting a shadow on the blue sphere, Pollux 5. This must be a very old piece of work, because this planet's moon was destroyed thousands of years ago. The machinery is waiting for the gravitational pull of another eclipse to activate it, an eclipse that will never come. And one other thing, Captain. This may also be a diagram showing the proper settings on that control panel.
Welcome to our home. Thank you for repairing our somnambutron.
Stop. I welcome you on behalf of the United Federation of Planets. Who are you? Where you come from?
We call ourselves Nowians. Thousands of years ago, we saw that meteor impacts were going to cause an ice age. We created this huge underground shelter to preserve our race, keeping us in suspended animation until the planet had recovered. We programmed the machinery to revive us at the next eclipse, but we did not count on the destruction of our moon.
Some advance. Perhaps you can tell us about the demons.
The demons, as you call them, are created by a machine designed to keep intruders away from our sleep chambers. It pulls from the minds of any approaching creature their most feared enemy and produces replicas to scare them away. For you and your crew, it was Klingons. For the Tellarites, a wolf demon. And for the other humans, a demon from their religion. On behalf of my people, thank you for waking us. I will turn off the machinery which creates our guardians, so that they no longer bedevil those with whom we now share our home. Oh, woe! Alas! The key is missing. I can do nothing. Even we will suffer the attacks of our own guardians unless the key can be found. I implore you, if you can help, please do so.
Jim, think about that skull we picked up from Brother Stephen. Now look at this alien. See the resemblance?
A child? No, I see many differences. This must be what our people who did not slumber have become. Still, I would like to see these remains properly interred, according to the precepts of our religion. May I keep this?
Of course. I think you will get along well with the Pollux inhabitants, and I'm sure you will have interesting theological discussions.
You found the key. I can now turn off the machinery creating our guardians, and no more sentience shall be at risk. Surely the Holy One smiles upon us all. I have no way to thank you, Captain, but please carry this request from my people to yours. We have much ancient knowledge we can share, and we would like to join your federation. Go in peace.
I will be glad to accept your application to the Federation. We shall have a diplomatic envoy sent to make the final arrangements.
We look forward to meeting them. We also look forward to having discourse with the colonists. Farewell. May the Holy One bless you.
Live long and prosper.
Kirk to Enterprise. Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Pollux 5 and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I might have known there weren't any demons.
We all have demons of our own, Bones. The ones we can't confront are often the hardest to deal with.
These demons were based on fear, Captain. A human failing.
I don't know, Spock. Everything that I've ever read about demons describes them as having pointy ears. Hijack.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
The USS Enterprise is to report immediately to Beta Mamid. The USS Masada has failed to report as scheduled. Determine nature of delay and take whatever measures are necessary.
Set course for Beta Mamid, sir.
There is an unidentified ship closing rapidly, weapons armed and shields up.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Message coming in, sir.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Leave the Beta Mamid system immediately. You're interfering in Elasi affairs.
We are conducting a search and rescue mission for the USS Masada. It was last reported in this system. We cannot leave until we can confirm its location and condition.
So be it. You have been warned. Prepare to die.
Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Bridge repaired, Captain. Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
They are fleeing.
The enemy ship's initial intercept course was from the last known position of the Masada. I suggest we orbit the planet for a closer sensor scan, sir. There she is, Captain. She does not appear to be seriously damaged. Her shields are up, and 27 life forms are aboard. Captain, we could use the command prefix code to lower the Masada's shields briefly, long enough for one transporter burst.
Hailing the ship, Captain.
Greetings, Federation imperialists. I am Elasi Seraph, and I have claimed this ship as a blow for freedom against Federation tyranny.
This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. You are illegally in possession of Starfleet property.
Ah, the infamous Captain Kirk. The Masada is mine. You will release 25 political prisoners I specify, or I will destroy the ship and its crew. The list of those wrongfully imprisoned should be coming over to you now.
Data file captured, Captain. Computer indicates they were all convicted of piracy with various counts of murder and mayhem thrown in.
Freeing the prisoners you requested will take time. We have to track down their current locations, and Starfleet will have to grant permission to move them here. I will get that started. You should tender a show of good faith on your part. Will you beam over so we can discuss negotiations face to face?
What? Lower my shield so you can beam over a war party? I'm not stupid, Captain. We'll play by my rules.
So long as the shields are up, Captain, our hands are tied.
The Enterprise can overpower the Masada and take her, but the pirates would have all the time they need to kill every one of the hostages.
Will you send over data on the whereabouts and conditions of my falsely accused clansmen languishing in your dungeons, Captain?
Very well, we'll do it your way. I will put together the data packet. Kirk out.
Masada, USS. A Federation tug tender. Registry NCC 293391. Currently under the command of Captain Kevin Keeler. Crew complement of 17. Primary mission: tow, repair of disabled ships. Its input override code is 293-391-197736-3829. Keeler, Kevin, Captain of the USS Masada, a Federation tug tender. Graduated 87th in his class at Starfleet Academy. Stardate 3342.8. Keeler has the rank of lieutenant in Starfleet, but is the senior officer aboard the Masada. Elasi Prime, a binary star system which one inhabited planet, Manalvagor, is currently undergoing a revolution between factions which survive from raiding Federation ships and factions that wish to make peace with the Federation. Several continents, Elasi pirates. There are several bands of pirates based from Elasi Prime, the Ajalasi family, the Ajthari, and the Andrasili. Recent events on Manalvagor have caused these bands, which typically battle each other, to unite and prey on Federation ships. Ajalasi, meaning the Fist of Elasi, a name taken by the Demiri pirate clan of Manalvagor, and used as their surname for nearly 70 years. Manalvagor, the only inhabited planet of the Elasi Prime system. It was colonized by the Andorians before their entry to the Federation, and their relations with the native population has been a major problem with the Federation in recent years. Andorians, a member of the Federation noted for their antenna-like sensory organs and their unusual blue skin pigmentation. The Andorian colonization of Manalvagor, which was done centuries ago, has resulted in considerable problems for the Federation. Scythe, full name, Scythe Ajalasi, a member of the notorious Elasi clan from Manalvagor in the Elasi Prime system. Scythe is one of the younger members of the clan and spent 3 years in the Federation detention compound on Beta Carina 6 for assault on an Andorian official administering a supply depot on Manalvagor. Like his brothers and father, he is daring and impulsive, but a completist when planning activities. He is highly charismatic, but possesses nothing in the way of skills for commanding any sort of military craft, starship.
Captain, we could use the command prefix code to lower the Masada's shields briefly, long enough for one transporter burst.
Sending prefix and lowering the Masada's shields.
Disarming weapons.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the comm.
He's not hurt badly. I can revive him.
Thank you, Doctor. Be careful, Captain. The Alassi like to set booby traps. If you need any equipment, I've got my tools in this workspace.
Even our most efficient Chief Engineer Scott would have trouble repairing this damage in less than 2 days.
A Runsonate transmogrifier, an engineering tool used in the maintenance of transporters, which can be fitted with bits having a variety of irregularly serrated surfaces.
The controls have been virtually destroyed, Captain.
Can they be repaired, Spock?
With Chief Engineer Scott's assistance, I believe we could get them in perfect working order in 2 days.
Spock, we don't have 2 days. If we can repair the transporter, we might be able to transport onto the bridge and capture the Alassi.
I can attempt to jury-rig repairs if I can find parts. However, there is only a 67.357% probability of success.
I've always been a gambler, Spock. Figure out what you'll need.
Captain, I need to find a bit that will fit into the transmogrifier before I can go further with this.
Well, Jim, there's one thing I can tell you. I don't like Alassi.
I can't see them winning any popularity contests, Bones.
They can forget about my vote.
I suppose I should be grateful to see anyone after that. I thought I was dead.
Well, with any luck, you won't have to worry about that for quite some time.
Provided the Alassi don't have anything to say about it.
According to the deck plans of this class of starship, this is the entrance to the ship's brig. A tangle of mangled equipment reduced to junk. There are the remains of 5 phasers without power packs, a drained phaser welder, and scraps of wire and uncertain bits of metal junk. Phaser welder is now charged.
I think that does it. A comb bit for the transmogrifier. Now I can continue repairs on the transporter controls. The parts fit together satisfactorily. I attach these here. Now, all I need is a spare length of wiring. A force field of unusual configurations has been erected in front of the doorway, which leads into the bridge. I don't think it would be healthy to approach too closely, Captain.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Captain, the switch has been booby-trapped to detonate a bomb, presumably inside the brig somewhere. A medium-strength phaser bomb. The brig force field would contain the explosion, but it would kill the crew members within the cell. I recommend that we find a way of disarming it, Captain. Captain, the switch has been booby-trapped to detonate a bomb, presumably inside the brig somewhere.
They've turned this freighter into a prison barge.
I don't like the looks of this, Jim.
I see that the Alassi live up to their reputation, Captain. There. I believe the bomb is now defused, Captain. Captain, this wiring may prove useful in repairing the transporter.
Thank you for freeing us, Captain. We'll secure the area so they don't come up behind you. We've had electrical problems with our door to our bridge, Captain. The Alassi don't know we put an electric shutdown device. You'd never find it by chance. But if you used a charged phaser welder 2 feet to the left of the door and 1 foot off the ground, you might be able to shut down the force field and get a jump on the Alassi.
Nothing happens.
That did it. The field is deactivated, Captain. The controls are set for just inside the bridge door, Captain.
Mr. Spock, you're a genius.
I wouldn't go that far, Jim. But I do have to congratulate you, Mr. Spock. Now we can really risk shooting our atoms around the universe. Is this really necessary, Jim?
Analysis, Lieutenant Christensen.
Security analysis, sir. If we transport onto the bridge, we'll have the drop on them. Assuming Mr. Spock has the transporter working properly. If we could get past the force field on the door of the bridge, we should be able to surprise them for sure. Since we have a bomb, Captain, we could rearm it, transport it onto the bridge, and perhaps the Alassi will flee into the hallway. Then we could capture them.
And any hostages on the bridge will be killed when the bomb goes off. No, Jim. That's inhuman.
To say nothing of the possible damage to the bridge controls.
I'm going to have a word for you, Spock, if we appear inside the door. It's over, Scythe. Surrender, and I'll guarantee the lives of you and your crew.
You're an honorable and worthy opponent, Kirk. I accept your offer.
Scotty, beam down a security team to the bridge. We have regained control. Mr. Scott, beam us out of here.
Aye, Captain.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Beta Mamid and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
Trying to hold a Federation starship captive. Can you believe it?
Since we just witnessed that very event, Doctor, I'm surprised you asked.
It was a rhetorical question, Spock.
That took quite a bit of organization to seize a starship. Think we'll see more of the Alassi pirates?
Undoubtedly, Captain. I suspect they have considerable resources to draw on.
So do I. Sulu, take us out of here.
Love's labor jeopardized.
Priority message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
A raid across the Romulan neutral zone has placed Starfleet Research Station ARC-7 in jeopardy. Proceed immediately to ARC-7 and determine the status of the station. Good luck, Jim.
We have arrived at ARC-7. Romulan ship decloaking, Captain.
Message from the Romulan ship, sir.
Treachery. We are aware of Federation plans. Prepare to die.
They're arming weapons, Captain.
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
They activated a self-destruct device rather than be captured, Captain.
Resuming course to ARC-7, Captain.
Captain, there is an auto beacon broadcasting from the station.
Warning, warning. As per UFP Regulation 342-188.564.3, Paragraph 3, this base is currently under a Class 3 biohazard alert. All personnel are ordered to stay away from this base unless they are part of a biohazard response team.
Message from ARC-7, sir.
I am Centurion Ardea Preax of the Romulan Empire. We have discovered your genocide factory here and have summoned help to destroy it. Our lives will not be sacrificed in vain.
Captain, sensors indicate a breathable atmosphere in the space station. It seems that whatever ARC-7's intentions, it managed to create a biohazard that is deadly to Romulans. 17 humans and 10 Romulans are on the station. The humans are all in perfect health, so it seems we can beam over without any fear of contamination.
ARC-7, a highly sophisticated arcology project looking into the origins of life in the universe. The project is being led by Dr. Carol Marcus, who, along with a crew of 17 members, is dedicated to unlocking the mystery of life. Further information is classified. Romulans, a race descended from Vulcan stock, but one that did not reject aggression as the Vulcans did. On a sensor, the two races appear very similar. Their individuals are known for being more passionate and emotional than their Vulcan counterparts. They currently use ships of Klingon design, suggesting to some the Klingons are maintaining them as a client state to antagonize the Federation in a move that circumvents the Organian peace treaty. Marcus, Carol, the current chief of research on Station ARC-7. Carol Marcus is an expert in molecular biology, bioprotein development, cell mutation science, and radiation science. Dr. Marcus has been offered many posts in the Federation, but refuses to be involved in any project which may have a direct military application.
Disarming weapons.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the comm. Spock, check out the station's computer and see what you can dig up.
Dr. Marcus log. Supplemental. Continued testing of the Ouroboros virus confirms its potential harmful effects on Romulan Vulcan humanoids. As soon as the spill has been cleaned up, we will sterilize both labs and purge the circulation system to make sure no traces of the virus will remain viable. Then all research files must be erased. We must leave no chance that this terrible accident will ever be repeated.
Doctor, you may be interested in the medical data file appended to the log.
Now that's interesting. There's more here. All of Dr. Marcus' research data on the Ouroboros virus. Let me see. Virus growth patterns. Pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype. Alveoli involvement in... Boy, Jim, this bug works fast.
Is this really the time to catch up on your reading, Doctor?
Now listen here, you pointy-eared...
Gentlemen, I think we have more pressing problems.
Jim, there is an appended medical database online. Also, it would be useful for me to experiment on how the virus grows in the presence of different gases. I'm sure the station has the necessary equipment.
Please select subject file. Ouroboros virus. Ouroboros virus. Atypical growth patterns for L-type virus. Opportunistic pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype. Etiology: contact or airborne vector with alveoli microcollapse. Involvement immediately upon exposure. Tissue dehydration follows pneumal flooding. Mortality: 0.6 in 1.0 stardates. 1.0 within 2.0 stardates treatment, none. Named for the mythic world snake that swallows its own tail. Please select subject file. Ouroboros TLTDH gas. TLTDH gas. The chemical compound: tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless, odorless, non-flammable, gaseous at 1 atm, and temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among Vulcans and Romulans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria, sometimes leading to unconsciousness. In post-industrial pre-space flight era, a social problem evolved when crude TLTDH became popular to cook up from non-conductive tantolithial compounds commonly used as electrical insulation. Please select subject file. Ouroboros TL nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide. A colorless non-flammable compound. N2O. Gaseous at 1 atm and temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among humans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria, sometimes leading to unconsciousness. Please select subject file. Ouroboros TL nitrous ammonia. Ammonia. A colorless pungent compound, NH3. A common byproduct of metabolism in carbon-based life forms. Liquid or gaseous at 1 atm. Compounds widely used in agricultural, medical, and industrial applications. Please select subject file. Ouroboros T-ammon dihydrogen oxide. Dihydrogen oxide. A colorless, tasteless, non-flammable compound, H2O. Water. Liquid, solid, or gaseous at 1 atm. Temperature scales defined in most humanoid cultures by state shift of pure water. Please select subject file. Ouroboros T-ammon dihydrogen exit database.
Residue of a viral agent is still within the chamber. A Crygelion-2 basic compound distillator. Excellent piece of equipment for reducing complex materials to their basic compounds.
You take the Ouroboros virus culture. You pick up a large wrench. The panel opens. You see a gas tank labeled N2 with its feed lines running deeper into the wall. The panel is open. You see vast quantities of dust and stripped insulation from wiring repairs made to the console in the past. You grab a handful of insulation. You have distilled a quantity of polyberyl carbonate. A small field effect anti-gravity unit useful for moving things too heavy to lift and carry by muscle alone. You take the anti-grav unit. This is a synthesizer used to combine and replicate chemicals and form new compounds. This particular model has twin gas feeds. Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of pure water.
A clean drink of water, but I don't see its application in the context of our difficulties, Captain.
You take a 1-liter container of pure water. Nothing happens. The machine synthesizes 1 liter of TLTDH gas.
An unusual compound, Captain. It can induce laughter and feelings of exhilaration in some, much the way nitrous oxide affects humans.
It doesn't affect Vulcans, of course.
Actually, Doctor, both Romulans and Vulcans suffer its effects.
Why, that's just dandy. Vulcan laughing gas.
Please, Doctor, this is not a laughing matter.
You take a 1-liter container of TLTDH gas. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
I don't suppose you'd enjoy the psychological release of a few good belly laughs, Spock. We could open the canister right here, if you like.
I would strongly recommend against it, Doctor.
The tank detaches easily.
I guess this made it easier to replace the tank every so often, eh, Captain?
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely.
It sure beats hauling it around on our backs, sir.
Gas feed is off. You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely. You install the gas tank to the synthesizer's feed lines. Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a quantity of colorless goo.
You're wrong, Spock. Look, the virus culture has been eliminated. That's why it's clear. It'd be more useful for me to see how the virus might grow in the presence of a limited quantity of ammonia gas.
The machine synthesizes a liter of ammonia.
I hope you don't want me to swab the deck with that, Captain.
I think we can set this aside and not worry about it.
You take a 1-liter container of ammonia. You take the Ouroboros virus culture.
Eureka, this is it, Jim. There's not much, but all I need to do is synthesize some more, and we're in business.
You retrieve the Ouroboros cure sample. You take the hypo with Ouroboros toxin cure.
There, you're now cured.
Thank you, Doctor.
Finally, a human response. I don't suppose you'd enjoy the psychological release of a few good belly laughs, Spock. We could open the canister right here, if you like.
I would strongly recommend against it, Doctor.
The vent is now open. It leads to the lower deck. With a hiss, the Romulan laughing gas billows down the vent. You hear the muffled sounds through the vent of hearty Romulan laughter, followed by the dull thud of bodies hitting the deck.
Jim, we've got to help these men before they die.
The Romulans stir weakly, then begin to get up. They've all been cured.
They're severely dehydrated, but they'll live. We got to them in time.
The Romulans drink thirstily and empty the container.
Take it easy now. You'll feel better in a few minutes. Good thing we had the water available, Jim.
We aren't barbarians, in spite of what some people think.
Gas feed is off. You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely. You install the gas tank to the synthesizer's feed lines. Nothing happens. Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of pure water.
A clean drink of water, but I don't see its application in the context of our difficulties, Captain.
You take a 1-liter container of pure water. The Romulan Preax stirs weakly, then begins to get up. He has been cured.
He's severely dehydrated, but he'll live.
Nothing happens. The Romulan Preax drinks thirstily and empties the container.
Take it easy now. You'll feel better in a few minutes. Good thing we had the water available, Jim.
We aren't barbarians, in spite of what some might think.
Fascinating. This device contains over 10 million forms of life, patterns I have never seen before.
We call this the cradle, Mr. Spock. One day I hope something wonderful would be produced here. Thank God it's you, Jim. I'm so glad you came. Thank you for saving our station, Jim.
Hello, Carol. It's good to see you again.
There was a time when I wouldn't have agreed with that statement. But I guess some things do get better with age.
You always could put me in my place, couldn't you?
That's the one thing I could never do. Your place was wandering the galaxy, and that's the one thing I could never give you.
I have called off the Romulan attack on this station, Kirk. I believed your virus was some kind of deliberate attack, but your great honor and compassion have convinced me otherwise.
You also conducted yourself in the most honorable fashion, Centurion Preax. You may return to Romulan space without Federation interference.
You are an honorable adversary, Kirk. Jolon true.
You are also a worthy opponent, Preax. May you live long and prosper.
You'll never cease to amaze me, Jim.
Goodbye, Carol.
Goodbye, Jim.
Well, gentlemen, let's go home.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Arc 7 and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I wonder if I'll see Carol again.
Well, if you don't, you can always drown your sorrow in some Romulan ale.
That's illegal, Bones.
Tell that to the Romulans, Jim. I found a whole case they brought on board the Arc 7.
It'll never replace Scotch, Captain.
That it won't, Mr. Scott.
Another fine mess.
Priority message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have reports of an undetermined number of Elasi pirate ships in your sector. You are ordered to proceed to the Harlequin star system immediately and investigate. Starfleet out.
We have arrived at Harlequin. Two Elasi ships approaching fast, Captain. I'm also picking up an ion trail from a small ship, probably a scout. It left the sector just as we arrived. It appears likely that we interrupted the pirate attack on the scout.
Message from the Elasi captain, sir.
We'll show you what happens to those who come between us and our prey. Prepare to die!
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
Aye, sir. Bridge repaired, Captain. Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
The ion trail of the scout ship leads to the Harlequin system, Captain.
Picking up the subspace signal, sir. It's very weak.
Patch it through, Lieutenant.
Enterprise? Is that you, Kirk? Friend Kirk, I can't believe they sent you to rescue me.
That sounds like... No, please, say it isn't.
I have a visual signal now, sir.
You come to help me, Kirk. You've got to help me. I have had a terrible misunderstanding with the Alasi traders. They're out to kill me, Kirk.
Fancy that.
No, see here, Kirk. I sold my Mud's miracle digrimers in perfectly good faith. A little sideline work, you understand. Now they won't leave me alone. No. They're tracking me again. I can't send coordinates. You have to come protect me. I'm a registered ship with the Federation. Mud out.
I'm afraid his ship is registered, Captain, and regulations require we respond to his distress signal. I would very much like to see this alien ship, but the prospect of dealing with Harcourt Fenton Mudd again gives me pause. The Harappan system is binary, with a neutron pulsar in the vicinity causing difficulties with our sensor readings. I was able to trace Mudd's transmission to this derelict.
So, our friend Harry is on board, no doubt. Can you tell me anything about the derelict vessel?
There are 6 major subdivisions within the hull. All systems are down. There is, however, limited atmospheric integrity. The environment appears to be the result of a temporary save-a-ship life support generator. Not exactly a reliable model, Captain.
We're being hailed by Mr. Mudd, sir.
Captain, you came. I'm touched.
Harry, I have to be touched in the head to have anything to do with you. How's your lovely wife, Stella?
That was a dirty trick, Kirk. However, you'll be glad to know I let bygones be bygones. If the Enterprise will stand by and fend off any pirates, I'll just finish my salvage operations here and be out of your hair.
Computer records document that you filed notice that there was no salvageable value here, and that the ship was a common passenger tug.
Did I say no value? Minimal, Captain, minimal. I meant nothing but promising when I filed the report. We both know my judgment isn't always perfect.
I would say your judgment is never perfect, Harry. Perhaps we should beam over and judge the situation for ourselves.
That isn't necessary, Kirk. I can handle...
Harry, relax. We're old friends. We'll understand if things aren't picked up and looking neat. Kirk out.
Mudd. Harcourt Fenton. Harcourt Fenton, Harry Mudd, is one of the most infamous criminals at large in the Federation. A notorious con artist and troublemaker, Mudd has been imprisoned numerous times for petty crimes. While Mudd is not considered physically dangerous, he is quite devious and often uses dangerous means to ensure the success of his schemes. Starfleet captains who encounter Harry Mudd should be extremely wary.
Disarming weapons.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
Welcome, Captain Kirk. So glad you're here. The Alazi have been terrible trouble to me.
Well, you're terrible trouble to me, Harry. Tell me what this is all about.
I happened upon this ship not long ago and dutifully registered as salvage, mind you. In the hold here, I discovered one of these devices in that box over there. When I tried one on a wall, it floated off the grease and dirt. Perfect for cleaning, near as I could see. I peddled a few of these Mudd's miracle degrimers, and everything was going perfectly well.
Then something went wrong, right?
Actually, no, Doctor, not then. I'd started offering a few other little items I found. Mudd's limited coffee substitute, a great little specialty item. Lenses to affirm packaging build-your-own telescope kits. The collection of novelty paints, things like that. All of a sudden, the Alazi pirates are asking for me in every quadrant, wanting to know where I'm getting my goods.
I see, Harry. Well, we'll look around here while the Enterprise remains close by.
Look around all you like, Captain, but I'll be keeping an eye on you. I've registered this derelict as my salvage, and I don't want you running off with all my prizes.
Harry, as official representatives of the Federation and of Starfleet, we recognize your rights to legitimate salvage. Need I say more?
I understand perfectly, Captain. Carry on, Captain.
There are shiny, multi-sided spherical objects in this box. Odd-looking contraptions small enough to hold in one hand. This lens, about the size of one's thumbnail, magnifies like a fine optical glass.
These are computer memory transfer media, probably designed for use with the alien computer system.
A small energy device with a flanged opening at the front, about the size of one's thumbnail. Done. 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 These two things fit together like they were made for each other.
Well, now I think we know why the Alassi pirates were so interested in finding out where Mudd was getting these.
A Save a Ship emergency life support generator, generally used for temporary life support during evacuation of small damaged ships.
Evidently, Mr. Mudd was unwilling to pay the price for a reliable salvage model. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report.
3 triangular blue buttons. 2 yellow triangular buttons. A red triangular button.
The device has finished loading, Captain.
This appears to be some sort of engineering instrument. One Starfleet issue science.
Nothing to report, Captain. It is a multi-bit compact duver with its own Draktar traction unit and clamp kit. This is clearly the control center for the ship, Captain. I cannot deduce much information, but I do observe 2 things.
Go on, Mr. Spock.
This station definitely is configured differently from the one beside me.
This shouldn't be surprising. After all, there are 2 stations.
That may be, Doctor. But if you'll recall, all the Enterprise's different stations link into the same computer network bank, and...
What else can you determine at this stage, Mr. Spock?
These people have a fixation for the number 6. And even divisors and multiplicans thereof, 3s and 12s in particular. I believe this may be the necessary first clue to understanding the aliens. This platform contains the control console for the ship's computer library. Data may be accessed by using this console. This seems to activate the ship's computer bank control node. Given the alien's predilection for multiples of 3, it may be possible to use our tricorders to decipher the information carried in these data banks.
That would be quite a find, Jim. This is an alien race unknown to us, and they are certain to have knowledge new to us.
Were the universal translator available, this would be simple.
With the Enterprise out of range, that's not an option, Mr. Spock. What else can you do?
I believe if Dr. McCoy and I conjoin our 2 tricorders, we may be able to process enough sample data to get a basic understanding of the alien's computer system. This will completely tie up both our tricorders for an extended amount of time, however. Both our tricorders are now working on basic processing of the alien's computer data system. The tricorders are not the equal of the universal translator, but we should be able to retrieve basic information and get an insight into their culture and life systems. I don't believe we could have gotten even this far had we not deduced their fixation on base 6 mathematics and aesthetics. The tricorders are again available for general use. The alien ship's computer data is now accessible from the ship's library. I believe I have downloaded enough information to our tricorders to enable operation of most of the ship's controls, Captain.
You download major portions of the alien library onto the yellow spheroid.
Why, Captain!
Jim, that doesn't look good at all. Harry, let me take a look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
No, you're all space aliens. You're little gray men from inside the hollow earth. You want to experiment on my body parts. Stay away from me!
Deleterious effects. I guess I don't even need my tricorder to know that.
You'll mind control me, kidnap my children, dissect my dog.
If we can get him on one of the beds and get it active, I think he can be cured. Otherwise, he's likely to become increasingly violent.
Stay away from me!
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
The volatile chemicals have evaporated over the time the derelict hung in space. I need to refill the capsule dispenser for the bed to activate and effect a cure on our friend Harry here. It would be interesting to analyze them back aboard the Enterprise, but these are probably vaccines, medicines, and research viruses.
Do they pose any threat to us, Doctor?
None seems likely to have any effect on human or Vulcan physiology. To be on the safe side, though, I wouldn't recommend taking a snootful from one of the capsules. The capsules slide into the machinery on the bed exactly as they're designed to. I'm telling the program, our physiology is not the same as the aliens' physiology. Don't want it to try to cure us of being human.
That would be too much to hope for, would it not, Doctor?
Particularly when we're talking about Harry Mudd. Okay, Harry, you should start to feel better in a few minutes. Just lie there quietly until you feel like moving.
Oh, give me something for this headache, Doc. A herd of Amari tree elephants landed behind my eyeballs and did a mating dance.
This is the secondary station. With the limited understanding we now have of the library computer data, these controls can now be activated. Available are sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Ilassi pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. I read debris identifiable with the pirates, but they continue to harass the Enterprise. Sensors. Navigation. The computer reports this ship is incapable of navigating anywhere at all without major repairs. We are definitely dead in space until the Enterprise returns, Captain. Sensors. Navigation. Engineering. The engine pods are damaged, but still generating power, Captain. Sensors. Navigate. Engine done. Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
communications.
The Enterprise is out of range for this equipment, under the conditions of static created by the neutron star.
Communications. View screen. I guess the universe looks about like it did the last time we saw it. Communications. View screen.
Done.
Why, Captain, I see you got this machine to work. I tried to get it up and running for the longest time.
Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge is for everyone.
Why, Kirk, I didn't think you had it in you. Thank you. Captain, you wouldn't have seen my multi-purpose duver anywhere? I need to, fix something.
No, Harry. Yes, I've got it, but you can't have it.
You really can be a headache, Captain. Maybe I can find a spare somewhere else. Good luck. Goodbye.
That was a close one. Too close. If I ever get my hands on that no-good mud,
I would not suggest we take the time to seek him. This emergency could occur again. I would suggest we hasten our departure.
Was there a problem?
Mud, I ought to...
Sorry, no time to chat. I'm a busy man, you know.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through the main weapons battery. However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship was completely destroyed in the action, which made her a derelict. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but I would recommend we try to take this weapon with us to the Enterprise.
I don't think I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Databanks erased.
It appears our good friend, Harry Mudd, has crashed the main computers. I doubt if it was a very easy thing to manage.
Spock, we're talking about Harry Mudd. He was probably trying to download it so he could sell it to the highest bidder.
And instead, he wiped the memory. That knowledge was priceless.
At least our life support system isn't dependent on the alien computer.
I believe, Captain, that the basic functions of the ship remain even now. This is the library module. The art, history, and cultural memory of the aliens are gone, but the mechanical necessities of sickbay, engineering, and sensors continue to work.
But their essence, their souls, are gone, Spock.
Illogical, Captain. This race has been extinct for millennia. Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to...
Communications. Scotty, report.
The Alassi pirates have been driven off, Captain. We have damage and injuries among the crew. We just arrived back here a few minutes ago, and we've been trying to raise you on the communicators.
The local star seems to be acting up. Will there be a problem with the transporter? I want you to beam up the landing party, and I also want you to lock onto and beam aboard an alien mechanism we came across.
We can do it, Captain, no problem. At least right now, but the situation is only going to get worse. Are you ready to beam over now?
No, we want... Yes, no, I need to have a word with Harry Mudd before we go.
Captain Kirk, I was hoping to see you. I'm leaving soon and wanted to say thanks for the escort. Ta-ta! And I hope we never have to cross paths again, Captain.
Don't rush off, Harry. There's still a few things we need to discuss. You destroyed the only known records of a lost race. That's a punishable offense. You were selling high-technology weapons to terrorists and known criminals. Tell me why I shouldn't arrest you on the spot just on general principles.
Because I am going to turn over a selection of samples to the Corniforous Life Sciences University.
For free?
Of course. One of everything I've found here.
5 of each.
Captain! 2.
5. Remember, I could confiscate your entire stock as illegal goods. You might get it back through the courts in a few years.
You drive a hard bargain, Captain. It's a deal.
You have no idea what a great bargain it is, Mudd.
I understand. No problem. Adieu, Captain.
Bring us home, Mr. Scott.
We have read your report on the problems at Harapan and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I've wired in that alien contraption to the torpedo systems. It should boost the ship's firepower, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. I only wish you could wire Harry Mudd to a photon torpedo.
While you were away, Captain, I made some travel arrangements that I thought you would approve of.
Travel arrangements?
I think you'll be happy to know that I've arranged for Stella Mudd to meet her long-lost husband on Starbase 7, sir.
Approved, Lieutenant. Take us out of here, Mr. Saru.
Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakur, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discovered what happened on Krakur before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battlecruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nisla. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take it. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem, have your fleet commander take it up with them. If a Federation criminal were to pass into Klingon space, you'd be saying the same thing to me.
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed.
Entering standard orbit.
I have pinpointed the source of the energy trail from Hatur.
Krakur 4, a world in Klingon space, which has belonged to the Empire for at least 4 generations, governed by the Kenka family. The population of Krakur is not known. Kenka Flicked, a member of the Kenka family, an old Klingonese family of noble origins, the governing family of Krakur. Flicked is the first Kenka to reach flag rank, and as such, has been posted back away from the frontier. Flicked has 2 sons in the service, but nothing is known of his wife or other children. He is believed to be the current commander of the Clurta, and one of the most respected commanders in the Klingon fleet. He is said to be an avid fencer. Digifal, a system near the Klingon neutral zone. Digifal contains 2 habitable planets, Digifal 3 and Digifal 4. Digifal 3, also known as Zem4, contains ruins of a civilization that abandoned the planet approximately 20,000 years ago and has been declared a protected world for archaeological reasons.
Assemble a landing party. Unless we find this so-called criminal, we're going to war.
There is a tall, slender, dark-haired man looking intently at you.
Greetings, my children. I can barely imagine that you have come so far.
I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you?
The Klingons? Amazing. This is the first time one of my missions has produced results so swiftly.
Listen, mister. Any missions conducted within Klingon space fully jeopardize the peace.
Jeopardize the peace? Hardly. Peace is what I preach. I am Quetzalcoatl, as you well know from the proud history of your world.
Quetzalcoatl? How fitting you would name yourself after one of the most bloody-handed gods in Earth's history.
Bloody-handed? My people love peace.
Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still-beating hearts.
Impossible. You must be lying.
And then your followers were destroyed, because when white men arrived on that continent, they were believed to be you in your promised return. Your people perverted your teachings, then were destroyed by it.
Foul, lying creatures! My gift was wasted upon you! Be gone! Clearly are not the inheritors of the noble Aztec world. What you have said has greatly disturbed me. You should not lie so. You shall remain here until you have learned the error of angering Quetzalcoatl.
It looks like a Zamphorian pit snake, a rather common species in this region, noted by galactic herpetologists for their quickness. It is not venomous or dangerous to humans.
You pick up some rocks from the pile. The vine will not support you. The vine will not support you.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there.
Fascinating. It did appear to knock the mine down near to the point where one of us can reach it.
Didn't they have baseball on Vulcan? Show us your fastball, Jim.
Baseball? No one plays that anymore. Good try, though, sir.
The probability of getting the vine on the second try was only 36.53%. Well done, Captain.
Probability? That was a perfect pitch if I ever saw one.
All right. We're on our way.
You fail to obtain anything.
I am Tolokzak, priest of Quetzalcoatl. Only one who knows his ways may approach his holy ground.
Towering over your security officer, holding a great spear in his huge hand, the great warrior Tolokzak will let no one pass him.
Indeed, you know the ways of Quetzalcoatl, but only a man of courage, one who will shed blood, will pass. Self-sacrifice is the noblest quality of humanity. You may go. Beware the monster in the water. You may have my knife to defend yourself.
You pick up the beautifully crafted knife. This plant has a rather thick stem and prickly leaves. A pair of eyes are all that you can see of the rest of this creature. Most of it is hidden beneath the murky water.
It would appear that the plant secretes a chemical that is a natural repellent to the creature. It has retreated far downstream, Captain.
It is a large cluster of crystals.
This appears to be a formation of raw dilithium crystals, Captain.
You have one dilithium crystal in raw form.
Watched as you worked through the problems I set in your path. You are a valiant, intelligent species. Please sit down. We have much to discuss.
I've had it up to here, with one thing first. If you're so peaceful, how come the Aztecs were so violent and aggressive?
I tried to teach them the concept of self-sacrifice. It would appear they did not completely understand my teachings. You are clearly not the liars I thought you to be. Were you telling me the truth about my disciples? That they became ruthless savages?
The Federation, absolutely. Your best intentions were changed by the imperfect humans that you left in charge after you departed. Such is the way of our race, I'm afraid.
I sense truth in this. Perhaps this is what happened to my children on the Klingon world of Rakur, which would explain why they are searching for me. I have clearly abused the power that was given me long ago.
You show great wisdom, sir, but your statement implies that you wish to change your condition.
Indeed. If my mission of peace was overthrown, then I am no longer worthy of my power. Tell me, has your species made progress in the medical arts?
We're a technological... Yes, why do you ask?
At the top of my spine is a gland not found in your species. This is the seat of my power. I wish you to remove it, thereby making me immortal.
Jim, I'll try, but the physiology is completely alien.
You've got to do it, Bones. If the Klingons realize he's no longer a threat to them, perhaps we can avoid a war. Scotty, 5 to beam up.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battlecruisers have just entered the system. Admiral Kenka is hailing us, sir.
Federation starship, this is Admiral Vlik Pinka of the Clearta. You harbor a criminal who has caused the destruction of the entire population of Rakkor. We are not prepared to negotiate. You will proceed to Rakkor, where a court of Cleon justice will be convened. If you refuse, we shall destroy you.
Admiral Vlicht, the criminal of whom you speak is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time.
His attempt to corrupt the Empire with his philosophy led to the destruction of all life on Rakkor.
How could a philosophy of peace and non-violence cause the destruction of all life on Rakkor?
Rakkor has been governed by my family for generations, but even they were corrupted by him. It was a matter of honor that his lies had to be silenced, no matter what the cost.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with?
It was that creature's fault. Had he not interfered in our affairs, the people of Rakkor would be alive. Clearly, he is responsible.
Message from Starfleet Command.
I'll argue this with you later, Blicht.
Contact your superiors, Kirk. You may be surprised.
I have bad news, Captain. The Organians have ruled that Quetzalcoatl's interference in Klingon affairs renders him subject to Klingon law. You are to turn your prisoner over to them at Rakkor. Klingon law will permit you to observe or aid in his defense. But be very careful, Jim. Starfleet out.
Captain, you cannot turn him over to those butchers. That would be murder.
We have no choice, Scotty. I'm afraid Quetzalcoatl has a date with Klingon justice. Set course for Rakkor, Mr. Chekhov. Captain's log. We have come to the ruined Klingon planet of Rakkor to deliver our guest, the mythical entity Quetzalcoatl, to a Klingon court. Dr. McCoy, Mr. Spock, and Ensign Benny and I have been granted permission by the Organians to witness this trial, which I expect to be a travesty of any meaningful definition of justice. Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the comm.
The prisoner and his witnesses will stand forth, so the trial may begin. So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but the universe holds many surprises.
There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon flick. Let's get this trial underway.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, studying dissent, encouraging cowardice,
and treason in the highest degree.
Those are serious charges, Vlicht. Should he not be tried by a Klingon High Court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in High Court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial.
A Federation officer claiming the rights of a Klingon warrior? How dare you insult me, Kirk?
I've faced Klingons both in personal and ship-to-ship combat. Your own records will confirm this. If I'm not worthy of their honors, why didn't they kill me?
That oversight, Kirk, is easily rectified. You and your 3 companions may face the test that we sent for the Defender. Then we shall see if you are as worthy as a Klingon.
I want your word of honor, Vlicht, that Quetzalcoatl will not be harmed while we take these tests.
Very well. You have my word. Captain Calarax, transport them to the test of life.
What is this place?
Not much is known about Rakur, Ensign. This would appear to be some sort of a mining installation. That creature might be a native life form.
A test of courage? That is the Klingon way.
I somehow doubt that Vlicht intends for us to survive this, whatever the outcome. We're the only thing that stands between him and the killing of Quetzalcoatl that he can justify.
Why should he worry about justification, Captain? He's a Klingon. Murder is as natural to them as breathing.
That's not true, Ensign. However, I suspect that Vlicht's attack on Rakur exceeded his orders. He needs Quetzalcoatl as a scapegoat, and he needs a fair trial to avoid an inquiry of his own actions.
And our deaths will be the only way he can get it. Great!
This creature is composed of electrical fields. I would not recommend approaching it. A metal projectile might disrupt its fields and render it harmless. This rock has a high iron content.
You melt some of the rock. You coat the rod with molten iron. It hardens quickly. Nothing happens.
As I suspected, Captain, the creature is in stasis. It should awaken in 3.48 days.
I bet it'll be mad.
An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Rakur, in what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative.
Good luck, Captain.
What is this place?
This is not Klingon technology, Captain.
Even I can see that, you pointy-eared freak.
Gentlemen, I suggest we start trying to find out what this is. I have a feeling we've come someplace Vlicht wasn't expecting us to go.
You fail to obtain anything.
intellect of Rakur. For defense, use the light of war. For information, use my light. For transportation, use the light of travel. Sequences are keyed by combinations of crystals. Integrator now active. This is Bialbi, the most advanced life form on this world. Thank you for informing us of the situation. It shall be resolved. Admiral Vlicht, this is the defensive system of Rakur. You have engaged in genocidal activities on this world. Have you anything to say before your sentence is passed?
Kirk! This is your doing!
No, Admiral, it is not. But that will suffice as a final public statement. The sentence is banishment to you and all members of your crew who were involved in this action.
You have no right to try me!
I have as much right as you to conduct trials on this planet. You showed no justice to your victim. The penalty for injustice is death.
Kirk!
Hoist on you tried. If I have your word that Quetzalcoatl goes free, I'm willing to intervene to save you.
Agreed.
A life for a life is a just bargain, but his crimes are beyond count.
I do not see what can be served by more killing.
Idealism, an advanced concept. Naive, perhaps, but charming in its simplicity. Admiral Vlicht, the entity Quetzalcoatl shall be set free. If you ever return to this sector, the sentence shall be carried out. No Klingon vessel may ever return to this world.
Very well. I agree to your terms.
As for you, Captain, you may return. I find your social development most pleasing.
I fear that politics will make it impossible. Your planet is in Klingon space, but I don't understand why the Klingons never detected you.
Their archaeological digs did come close, Captain, but I am very elusive. I waited and monitored the situation and chose to reveal myself to you. Now you may go. Heed my warning, Vlicht. I shall not be merciful a second time.
Klingon ship leaving the area.
We will be setting course for Digifal. It's the closest thing to a home that Quetzalcoatl has.
It would appear everything worked out for the best.
Except for the people of Rakur, Mr. Spock. Except for the dead.
We have read your report on the problems at Rakur and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
That old devil moon.
Message from Starfleet, sir.
On screen, Lieutenant.
The Enterprise will proceed to the Alpha Proxima system. While the indigenous race on Proxima 3 has not reached a technological level commensurate with entering the Federation, and therefore under the protection of the Prime Directive of non-interference, we do maintain a discrete monitoring satellite. It has picked up activity from an asteroid in an elliptical orbit. You are to investigate without interfering with life on the planet.
According to the library computer, the Alpha Proxima system has 5 planets and an asteroid belt. A large asteroid is heading towards the inner planets and should pass close by Proxima 3. It passes through the interior of the system once every 200 years. The people of Proxima 3 call it Scythe, the same name as their god of war.
God of War, Mr. Spock? Isn't that a bit surprising from a people whose technology matches 20th century Earth?
Considering the level of warfare during that century, I'm surprised that it is Earth that did not have a god of war. In any case, about a millennium ago, Proxima 3 suffered a globally devastating war.
Blew themselves back to the Stone Age, Mr. Spock?
Late Bronze Age, Ensign. They rebuilt their world in half the time it had taken to get there originally. But the Armageddon was mythologized as a battle between the Soths and Lucres. In that war, the planet was raised, and all the gods died except Scythe. He had rained fury down upon the world, then went off on a long dance of victory. His return is a time for worldwide soul-searching and atonement.
And Scythe returns and our monitoring station picks up activity.
It would seem that we should proceed to Alpha Proxima and scan Scythe.
Entering standard orbit.
A sensor scan of Scythe reveals surface features consistent with damage left by a nuclear attack. It would seem to have been a target during Proxima's war.
Scythe rained fury down on the planet and then left on a dance of victory. A missile base, Captain?
It would seem to make sense.
Captain, I just monitored a narrow beam message from Scythe to Proxima 3. I don't have it all. I just caught a bit of the initial burst. I'm attempting a translation, but it appears to be a computer code.
Any response from the planet?
The Proxtrites will not have the equipment necessary to understand and reply to that code for another 25.6 years at their present rate of development.
Alpha Proxima. Star system with 5 planets. Alpha Proxima 3, Proxtre, and Alpha Proxima 4, Gazel, are both inhabited worlds. Proxtre, the 3rd planet in the Alpha Proxima system. This Class M planet is widely habitable except for zones of extreme radioactivity on the southern continent. About 1,000 years ago, the 2 dominant political systems, the Lucres and the Scythes, engaged in a nuclear war that resulted in the deaths of 3/4 of the world's population through direct or collateral damage. Proxtre's current civilization is non-spacefaring and does not have contact with the Federation. Lucres, one of the 2 ancient cultures of Proxtre, sees Scythes. The Lucres believed that a man who made the most of his ability was a god. Their individualism put themselves at odds with the communitarianism of the Scythes. The Lucres used Base 3. Their organization was based on units of 3, making up sets of 99. The number 99 was known to have religious importance to them. Scythes, one of the 2 ancient races of Proxtre, they lived in a highly advanced culture that valued the community ahead of the individual, which put them in conflict with the Lucres. The Scythes used Base 4 in their mathematics, and their organization was based on units of 4 to make up sets of 100. Scythe, a large asteroid in an elliptical orbit in the Alpha Proxima system. Spectral analysis of its composition indicates that it has minimal atmosphere and that it was once a moon of the planet Proxtre, hurled out of its orbit by a catastrophe. The 17th letter of the Lucre alphabet is named Scythe, probably not by coincidence.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the car. Mr. Scott?
Aye, we've had some slight problems with the transporters.
We didn't notice anything beaming down.
Just a glitch in the main transporter program. Mr. Kyle is loading a backup and we're performing tests. The transporters will be down for about an hour.
That will still give us plenty of time, Scotty.
I know. I have the lads in engineering doing a complete overhaul of the ship systems.
Good, Mr. Scott. I'll keep you posted. Kirk out.
The rocks have a high quantity of triphosphorus silver in them.
You retrieve a rock.
Large quantities of atmosphere are being circulated through these rocks. I would guess there are storage units within this satellite which are constantly replacing the atmosphere that is lost because of this moon's weak gravity.
Which means that this moon might still be inhabited, Mr. Spock.
We have detected no signs of life, Captain, but the possibility does exist.
I'm afraid we got a wee problem here.
What is it, Scotty?
There is some sort of virus in the main computer. Our phasers and tractor beams have been disabled, and there's no way we're getting them back in 3 hours.
There goes our backup plan. Do what you can, Mr. Scott.
Aye, I will, Captain. I may yet have a trick or two that I can pull, but don't count on any miracles.
Isolate that virus. That's your #1 priority.
That it is, Captain. We'll keep you informed. Scott out.
The door still appears to be in operating condition. Working display panel, Captain. There is power running to the keypad. I see you deduced that 10200 in the Lucre's Base 3 was equal to their sacred number 99.
Report, Scotty. How are things going?
About as badly as a killed in a blast furnace, Captain. Wait a minute. Lieutenant Uhura has some news for you.
The virus came from our sensor sweep of the moon's computers. We believe we have analyzed the memory sectors it attacked.
Well done, Uhura.
I wish I could take credit for it. It was Mr. Kyle who found the pattern. We are attacking it with antivirus programs.
Computer science sounds more like medicine every day.
If we had a doctor as good with computers as you are with patients, we'd be having a lot fewer problems.
Finally, someone who appreciates me.
Keep working at it, Uhura. Kirk out.
A computer terminal, Captain. It uses the Lucre alphabet. I think I can decipher it. The console reports the following. Welcome to Orbital Missile Base. Codename Scythe. This base has been operational for the past week. It has completed 1 successful fire mission. Estimation of success is at 22 over 100.
22%? That's very low. Hardly something to brag about.
Doctor, in Base 3, 22 divided by 100 is equivalent to 8 out of 9, or 88%. I would think that quite satisfactory, given this base's probable mission of destroying the soft forces on Proxtree.
It says the base has been operational for a week, but this has been here for 1,000 years.
If the Lucres built this base with a clock that told the time by measuring the moon's rotational speed, or the gravitational forces generated by Proxtree and the sun, the computer may have calculated only a week of time has passed since its first action. I might be able to learn more with another look at the console. There is a substantial amount of data here, but in summary, Scythe was created by the Lucres as a launching platform for missiles to keep the Softs subjugated to their influence. The Softs managed to infiltrate the base. However, their actions triggered Scythe's auto-attack mechanisms and initiated a holocaust that nearly annihilated the planet. One soft strike did, in fact, hit the moon and deflected it from its orbit. It has been dormant since then.
So why has the base been activated again?
Given the damage to the moon, its slow rotation and orbit, it has never realized the war is over. On this pass, for the first time, it has detected radio wave transmissions from Proxtree. Because it does not recognize them, it assumes the Softs are still active. Its transmission to the planet, I would assume, was some sort of a check beacon to see if it should continue its mission.
Jim, let's return to the ship and blast this place to destroy its weapons.
Doctor, this moon is a god to the people down there. If we destroy it, we will violate the Prime Directive.
Spock is right, Bones. Spock, what are the chances that we could decode the transmission and send a stop code to the base?
In trinary or decimal?
Spock!
1.327 million to 1, provided the archaeological studies about Lucre's languages are correct. Our other option is to get into this base and see if we can bring the computers down. This door is similar to the one on the outside of the secure lock, except that it has not weathered over the years. Electrical panels indicate the keypad on the right controls the door. This keypad is fully functional and controls the door. Its entry code is in Base 3. Fascinating. If the Federation language studies were correct, the ideograph for the word scythe in the Lucre's language is the 17th symbol in their alphabet that corresponds with 122 in base 3.
Captain, we have a cure for the computer virus.
Well done, Uhura.
I modified Cutthroat C to exclusively attack the Lucre virus. They annihilated each other, Captain.
Fascinating, Lieutenant.
The Klingons aren't going to be happy to learn that they helped us. How about the phasers and tractor beams?
We may get the tractor beams online in time, Captain. I'm afraid even the backup phaser transmission codes were affected. We could destroy some missiles manually, but if this complex decides to launch more than 10 missiles at a time...
Understood. The ball is in our court. We'll give it our best shot. Kirk out.
This panel has a slot in it rather than a keypad. The slot bears traces of triphosphorate silver, and power is currently running to it. I am recording the pattern of this lock into my tricorder. This door is made from remarkably dense alloys. Even our most powerful phaser rifle or welder would not be able to penetrate it.
The thing must be almost as tough as a starship hull.
Indeed, Ensign, and considerably thinner. A remarkable achievement in metallurgical engineering.
Can't say I like the decor.
The Lucres did not leave behind many examples of their architecture.
I can see why.
Captain, with the 3 kAg content of the surface rocks and the tricorder scan of the pattern inside the lock, I believe the laser drill can be used to fashion the ID card needed to open the sealed door in the other chamber. The drill is unremarkable, except its aiming component is corroded and frozen in place. I used the keycard pattern scanned from the lock to program the drill. It should now be able to make a template of the keycard in the rock.
This box contains old wire and connectors.
This appears to be the brain of Scythe. There are 2 identical but isolated computers that communicate with a third, which controls the launch of missiles. Readings indicate an extremely high radiation level beyond those doors. It would be fatal to proceed beyond them. This computer directly controls the missile launch system. There is no way to interface with it directly, but the other 2 computers are accessible. A crude uranium-235 nuclear device with lithium-beryllium shells to increase heavy particle fallout. This computer is functional and performing an average 0.75 million operations per second. This computer is functional and performing an average 1.2 million operations per second.
launch range is 1.31 hours adjusted. Welcome to Scythe Operations Center, Alpha Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 3.21 hours adjusted.
Captain, something is wrong with the computers. They may be twins, but they are not identical.
It appears they are out of sync, Captain. I have to assume the Alpha unit has a virus, which is using up an incredible amount of computing time.
They report different optimum launch times, which is right.
Given the elliptical orbit and the range at which they will pass Proxtree, the Omega unit is correct, but the window is very narrow. A variation of minutes will mean the missiles run out of fuel and fall harmlessly into the sun.
Can you reprogram the Lucas computer to give us that time, Mr. Spock?
Reprogramming an old alien computer is not simple, Captain. The odds against success are 10,221 to 1 against.
Too bad all Omega here couldn't just take a sick day and miss the firing.
Because the two machines are isolated, the virus did not spread from one to the other.
If we could only bridge them.
The connector snaps into place.
Welcome to Scythe Operations Center, Alpha Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 3.21 hours adjusted. Welcome to Scythe Operations Center, Omega Unit. Estimated time to optimal launch range is 1.54 hours adjusted.
The launched missiles will run out of fuel before they reach Proxtree. They will drift into the sun and burn up.
Kirk to Enterprise, how are the transporters, Scotty?
They're operational again, Captain. We're ready to bring you back at any time.
Bring us home.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the problems at Proxima 3 and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
Hard to believe that Earth came so close to the brink itself.
Vulcans, too. Both, in the end, looked into the abyss and came to the only logical conclusion.
Logic? Humans? I'm dreaming, Jim.
Sometimes it is harder and braver to make peace rather than war.
Sounds like emotion had its part to play in a positive sense, too.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to bid an emotional goodbye to Alpha Proxima myself.
Take us out of orbit, Mr. Sulu.
Vengeance.
Captain's log. We are arriving at the last known position of the USS Republic, which reported that it was under attack 12 hours ago.
Captain, the ship's sensors have picked up what appears to be a starship. Minimal life support, minimal engine power, and only 2 life forms, one on the bridge, the other in sickbay. Both appear to be gravely injured. It is the Republic.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
I am preparing an information packet for Starfleet. Shall I send it or wait for you to return?
Send it now. If a hostile ship arrives, head immediately for Starbase 24.
My God, Jim, what kind of butcher would do something like this?
I don't know, Bones. We're too far from the Klingon and Romulan borders for it to be one of their ships.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk.
Kirk here. What is it, Scotty?
We picked up a distress signal. It appears a trading vessel is having a wee bit of trouble with their warp drive. What condition is the Republic in?
It's a mess, Scotty. Life support's functioning, but that's about it.
I've done a primary scan of the Republic's systems. Main and auxiliary power is out. Life support is stable. I also read that communications are operable.
Should we beam you back, Captain?
Do the sensors read any other ships in the sector?
Besides the trade vessel, this sector is clear, sir.
Mr. Scott, we will continue here. Assist the trade ship and return here. If we need assistance, we'll contact you.
You sure you'll be all right, Captain?
Yes, Scotty, just don't take too long. Kirk out. Well, gentlemen, let's see if we can re-establish power.
Jim, don't forget. There's another survivor on board. We've got to find him. We're too late. This man must have died just a few moments ago.
Can you bring him back?
Punctured lung, nerve damage, brain damage, fractured arm and ribs. It's a miracle he lasted as long as he did. He's not coming back, Jim. They're dead, Jim. All of them.
Captain, records indicate that this ship was attacked by a Constitution-class starship.
Any idea of which one it was?
I am reading a record of the transponder signal, NCC 1701. It's the Enterprise, Captain.
Someone must have tampered with the computer records.
May I remind you, Doctor, that the main computer of a Constitution-class starship has safeguards against such an intrusion. Furthermore, I do not see any discrepancies in any of the files that I am able to access. My tricorder has picked up the final entry of the Republic.
We're under attack. Our sensors are inoperative. We're trying to get shields up. Our rear deflectors down. It appears our enemy is a Constitution-class starship. We've tried to defend ourselves. We've hailed them, but no response.
That's all there is, Captain.
Dick Patterson was never one for making long speeches.
Tricorder readings indicate that the ship is running on minimal battery power. Only life support and essential systems are currently running.
I can't believe it. That's Brittany Murata. I knew her from my academy days. We studied alien history together.
At least she's still alive, although just barely. She's suffering from severe trauma and internal bleeding. I'll see what I can do.
Do what you can, Bones. I need to find out what happened here.
She's in bad shape, Jim. I've tried to stabilize her, but it doesn't look good.
No, you won't get us.
Murata, what happened?
They said it was the Enterprise. They had visual confirmation.
What about the Enterprise?
You killed us, Jim. We were friends for you. I trusted you.
It wasn't the Enterprise, Murata.
There's nothing more I can do. He's dead, Jim. I can't bring him back.
This is an empty hypodermic injector. This medical drill fires a microscopic phaser beam. You pick up the empty hypodermic injector. You retrieve the medical drill.
Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Enterprise here. We're still tracking the distress call. Are you all right, sir?
Yes, Uhura. Just wanted a status report. Kirk out. Well, gentlemen, let's see if we can re-establish power.
He's dead, Jim.
There is a twisted mess of wire and metal falling from the gaping hole in the ceiling. It is blocking access to Turbolift 2. This is a length of heavy-duty insulated power cable. You have taken the cable.
Tricorder indicates that the panel is currently sealed by Federation standard molecular bonding cement.
A molecular saw, the 23rd century equivalent of a hacksaw. You retrieve the molecular saw. A common tritanium-duranium support beam which has snapped away from the hull. The molecular saw easily cuts through the beam, separating it from the hull. You pick up the beam. It's a little heavy, but you manage it.
The ceiling appears stable. We should now be able to use Turbolift 2, Captain.
This person's dead, Jim.
This is a length of heavy-duty insulated power cable. This door leads to the transporter room. You pick up a length of cable.
Captain, I'm picking up a functioning energy source in the immediate vicinity. I'm picking up a high-energy power source somewhere under the debris. I recommend caution, Captain.
Oh my God, Jim, is that what I think it is?
Yes, Doctor. It is a portable fusion power pack.
A few centimeters lower with that phaser and half this section would be history, not to mention us.
Actually, Doctor, 3.2 centimeters. And based on our proximity to the explosion and the angle of the beam...
Thank you, Spock. I think we get the point.
You pick up the portable fusion power pack.
This person's dead, Jim.
This is a junction box used for temporary rerouting of engineering circuits. This port is used to connect emergency power from the impulse engines to other systems if dedicated lines are damaged. This is a standard storage closet. The closet opens, revealing a library of engineering technical journals. You take the engineering technical journals. This is a canister of high-grade multipurpose oil, very useful for lubricating machinery. The hypo is now filled with multipurpose oil. You connect a length of cable between the impulse engine and the junction box. You connect a length of cable between the regulator circuits and the junction box.
Please select an impedance.
Spock? Captain, the wrong setting on this particular device may cause the fusion reactors to melt down. We will have to do some research to determine the correct setting.
The drill easily breaks through the seal of the panel. The panel opens easily.
Initial scans show that the gear mechanism is currently jammed with metallic debris.
The oil seeps into and loosens the debris. The gears are completely cleared of debris. These are Federation standard record decks. You take the record decks.
The impulse power allocation controls are functional, but there is no power available, Captain.
Mr. Spock, what is the status of the ship's computer?
There is extensive damage to the main processing unit of the ship's computer. It will take several days at a starbase to repair.
We don't have several days, Mr. Spock.
Unless we can find a suitable computational alternative, there will be no way to control the ship's systems.
That's just great, Spock. We don't exactly carry an M5 computer in our inventory.
Correct, Doctor. However, there may be another alternative. Linked tricorders, along with the circuits in the data reader, should have the processing power necessary to control a single starship system.
Thank goodness for parallel processing. I don't know what computers could do without it.
These are the auxiliary helm and navigation controls for the Republic. Though they are intact, the ship is in no condition to move under her own power.
This input-output slot for the record decks is still functional, Captain.
Captain's log. Stardate 6087.6. The Republic is currently approaching the Vardane system. Sensors have detected unusual energy fluctuations near one of the Vardanian moons. Starfleet has ordered us to investigate. Captain's log, Stardate 6087.8. We are under attack by 2 unidentified ships. I don't know how they could have approached undetected. They must have some kind of cloaking device, although there are no reports of Romulans in this sector. Captain's log, Stardate 6088.1. We have successfully driven off our assailants. Major damage has been sustained by our warp engines. Communications has reported that USS Enterprise is in sector. I requested Mr. Scott's assistance in repairing damage to the Republic. With luck, we will be fully operational in a couple of days.
Captain's log, Stardate 6088.5. First Officer Andrade commanding. The The Enterprise has inexplicably opened fire upon us. Captain Patterson has been mortally wounded. We have sustained major damage to all systems. Impulse power is out. We cannot understand why.
There are no more log decks, Captain. Captain, I have examined the engineering journals. According to Chapter 18, we can run...
Jim, do we really need a lesson in starship engineering?
Spock, just tell me if they will help.
Why, yes, Captain.
Please select an impedance.
Spock?
Captain, the information obtained from the engineering journals indicates the correct impedance setting to be 19,000 ohms.
Go ahead and adjust the settings, Spock.
Power has now been restored, Captain.
Spock crudely attaches the science tricorder to the computer console. Spock crudely attaches the medical tricorder to the computer console.
Both tricorders are rigged into the main computer's central processing unit. We now have enough computational power to control a single ship's system. With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to...
Weapons.
Power allocated to weapon systems, Captain.
Captain, I suggest we try to raise the shields.
Captain, look! An Alassi ship!
That ship was cloaked.
Fascinating.
Is that all you can say?
Captain, I suggest we try to raise the shields.
Mr. Spock, what is the condition of the fire control system?
Weapons control is functioning properly. However, there appears to be a jam in the primary loading mechanism. Captain, the torpedo loading system is malfunctioning. To clear it, we will have to physically examine the mechanism. Currently, all turbolift access to the torpedo bay is blocked by a hull breach. It is imperative that we get the weapons online. With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to...
Weapons. Shields.
Shields are up, sir.
Captain, we are being hailed by the Alassi, Captain.
Put it on screen, Spock.
Well, if it isn't Captain Kirk. Fancy meeting you out here all alone in such a shabby starship.
What do you want?
You should be more civil, considering your Enterprise is far away on a mercy mission helping that poor traitor.
It was a setup?
I can see why they made you captain.
I assume since you haven't blasted us to bits, you want something.
Why, yes I do. It seems you failed to give one of my associates some rather important information.
The Masada, I presume. You want the locations of all your imprisoned comrades?
Yes, Kirk. The Republic's computers will have the data just as your Enterprise would. I give you 1 minute to comply.
Just try it. It will take time. The controls are smashed and the main computer's badly damaged. It will take hours to get power to the computer banks.
Maybe I should just pump a few torpedoes into your shields and check it out for myself.
The Republic will fall apart if you fire on us. Then you'll never get the data.
All right, Kirk. We'll do it your way. I would rather not kill you. Besides, there's an old friend that wants to meet you. I give you 30 minutes. And remember, no tricks.
Captain, the main computer is far beyond.
Shut up, Spock.
30 minutes then. Kirk out.
With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to...
Weapons, shield, transporters...
Captain, the Alassi can surely detect the lowering of our shields. They will undoubtedly try to board us if we lower them.
Spock, what about the fusion power pack? Could we use it to power the transporter?
I believe so, Captain. It would require a connection to the transporter circuits in the main control console.
Spock, please check out the transporter.
Captain, there is no power allocated to the transporter.
Spock, would it be possible to connect the fusion power pack directly into the transporter power circuits?
Fascinating. It can be done. However, the transporter will only be able to transport a single person.
Do it, Spock.
I failed to see the lot. Transporter systems are operational, Captain. Coordinates have been set to the photon torpedo loading bay.
Ensign Keege, I want you to beam into the torpedo bay and unjam the loading mechanism. If you don't succeed, we'll all be on permanent shore leave in an Alassi jail.
I'll do my best, sir.
Do it, Spock.
I've reached the torpedo loading bay, Captain. It's not too badly damaged, fortunately.
What's causing the malfunction in the loading mechanism?
The inner loading door is stuck in the closed position. Now, I can force it open, but when the loading cycle has begun, the room will lose pressure. We won't be able to beam back here again.
Do it, Ensign. We'll just have to gamble that the system doesn't jam again.
The door's open, Captain. I'm ready to transport back.
Beam him back, Spock.
Well, Captain Kirk, I trust you and your valiant crew have retrieved the data I requested.
Not yet. Yes, we have. You'll have to beam over and get it, though. The computer's subspace transmitter is out.
How convenient, Kirk. We'll beam over, but no tricks. My sensors read that only your shields have power. Lower them now.
We'll comply. Kirk out.
With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to...
Weapons.
Power allocated to weapons systems, Captain.
Sensors indicate that the Alassi ship has lowered its shields. I suggest we prepare your surprise soon, Captain. They will beam over any moment.
I should have known you'd try something underhanded like this. Weapons Master, fire all weapons on the Republic!
We can't, Captain. All weapon systems offline. Captain, the Enterprise is coming on high-speed approach.
Activate cloaking device, Kirk, until we meet again.
Not too soon, I hope.
Watch yourself, Captain. It may be sooner than you realize.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk. Are you safe, sir?
We're fine, Lieutenant.
Sir, we picked up another ship nearby, and we came as fast as we could. It appeared to cloak. Were you attacked by Romulans?
No, Ensign. It looks like the Alassi have been doing some business with him. Scotty, Beam us back. We need to find that ship that attacked the Republic.
Aye, Captain.
Captain's log, stardate 6089.6. We are in pursuit of the starship that destroyed the Republic. Its trail is leading us to the planet Vardane, a member of the Federation whose motives have not always matched the high ideals of other Federation cultures.
Captain, I did not expect to hear you judge an entire culture. I understand the Republic.
I had bad experiences with the Vardane long ago, Mr. Spock.
Fascinating. Captain, I am reading a Constitution-class starship heading for Vardane at warp factor 5.
Captain, its transponder codes match ours.
Sensors indicate it is an exact duplicate of the Enterprise, including hull markings.
Open hailing frequencies.
Captain Kirk, this is the Enterprise 2. I am Dr. Ayaz Burdell of the Verdane Defense Force. You do remember me, don't you, Captain?
I remember you. 10 years ago, when I was on the Farragut, we exposed your unethical practices to the Vardane Council.
The old Verdane Council. Politics is such a fickle business. The new one is much less concerned with trivial concerns. I remember your part in my disgrace, which is why when we began to construct our own Constitution-class ships, I insisted that we have our own Enterprise.
How did you manage to build a Constitution-class ship?
Our intelligence network is better than yours, Captain. How else does one gather secret information?
You are a member of the Federation. You have signed Federation treaties.
And we shall break them. The Federation's interference in our internal affairs is intolerable.
You must have been building that ship long before the Turgan crisis.
Captain, all wars require justification. They aren't supposed to be fun. You have your justification and I have mine. Don't take diplomacy so seriously. However, Captain, I do intend to enjoy myself. I do intend to enjoy seeing Lieutenant Kirk's ship go up in flames. I shall laugh at the sight.
We'll see who gets the last laugh, Burdell.
I have noted that the Federation enjoys talking, Captain. You may talk yourself to your grave. Prepare to be destroyed.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
There are some...
How long she can take? Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Take it, Cap.
Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
That's the last of them, Captain.
Well, that's over.
Duplicate Enterprise indeed. That alien contraption was no match for the real thing.
What if the Vardain have more Constitution-class vessels?
The Federation will blockade Vardain until they agree to destroy their weapons facilities and all non-authorized ships.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the destruction of the USS Republic and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet. We have reviewed your overall performance for this year at 100%, Enterprise. Magnificent, Jim. Just magnificent. This will end up in the Starfleet Academy textbooks. My congratulations to you and your crew. They're talking about making you an admiral, Jim. But for now, I'm authorized to give you and your crew shore leave.
Shore leave at last. I know this great spot on Cameron's star, Jim. You'll love it.
Where you will no doubt, Doctor, wallow in sensory overload and emotional display.
Well, heck, Spock, it wouldn't be any fun otherwise. Jim, we've got to find some way to get this Vulcan to let his ears down.
Spock, you will come with us, won't you?
I cannot let go by a chance to study the primitive and raw emotional outburst at the level I anticipate, Captain.
That's the spirit, Spock. Okay, Admiral. What are you waiting for?
I've got some adventure left in me before I accept an Admiral's desk job, Bones. Take us out of here, Mr. Sulu. Warp Factor 4. Very few people have the ability to fire up our imaginations and make us think about the human condition. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was one of those people. He took us where no man has gone before and beyond. He created a starship, its crew, and an entire universe and brought them to life for millions of people. Without Gene, there would have been no Star Trek computer game or a Star Trek television series. Gene Roddenberry, born 1921, died 1991. We honor your memory.